Hey folks, so today this video is going to be about, wait for it, the Presta Valve. Now, I'm sure many cyclists out there are looking at this and saying, so what's the big deal here? But to a new cyclist, this is kind of a weird, intimidating thing the first time they get hold of looking at one of these. So basically, as far as bicycles, you've got your Presta Valve, or you've got your Schrader valve. This is like typically what you would find on a automobile or a lot of your basic bikes. You know, you got the little plunger in the middle, you press it, there we go, lets the air out, put your pump on, it airs it up, simple enough. Okay, so got our valve there. This is a kind of a universal pump head there. Basically you just stick it on, you know, it works Schrader or Presta, but basically loosen up our tip there as far as it'll go. Got a little sealant in there. And we can just pump it up from here to your desired pressure. Take her off. Thread your bit down, you're good to go. Alright, so a couple different types of these valves. You'll have either a tube like this that, as far as this threaded section where the cap may go on, basically like that. Some of these are going to have, it's just going to be threaded all the way around. Others may have, if I turn this valve, you can see there's some flats right there, or it's shining at your face. Okay, so this type you can actually remove. So I've got this little tool here that comes with a lot of valve extenders, and we'll just go ahead and break this right on loose. And then what you get from there, you can see the actual valve core. So if I unthread the little tip here on this one, try to get this in focus here, you can see where it moves in and out. That's basically what happens. Is this is in the core, the air wants to push out, and then it's kind of a cone shape there, so it basically seals the air closed, and then once you thread that little piece closed, it like seals it up. So that's what's going on inside of there. This other little, that section there, that's what actually seals it inside of here. Or in the case of this one, if you have a, well, here's another one. I don't know where the original went. We got this one that's threaded. So that little piece there just seals the air in there. Once you back this out, push down on it, it'll break that seal loose. So that's our basic insides of a Presta valve there. So if you have a deeper section rim, such as this carbon rim, you may want a longer, you're going to need a longer either extension or a longer valve stem in your Presta valve here. So that's where you're going to get into your different extensions. Just a little FYI, we're looking at this, one little hack you can use is to put some kind of tape around the edge of the rim there. Notice how when I tap on that, there's no noise. If I peel this little piece of tape off here, and that's just been put on in whatever, sometimes this thing will you're riding along, that thing's going to vibrate and make noise. So tip number one, if you've got a deep carbon rim, just take a little section of electrical tape like that, stab it through, clean that off, and then stick it over black rim. You're never really going to see it, but cuts down that annoying noise. Clincher, tubular, whatever, works really well. So these are just a couple extensions. This black one is actually the same as this red one. You know, basically what you have is the tip, basically you'll remove that from a normal tube, that threads into the top there, and then this will thread into the normal tube where the actual valve went before. If you've got maybe a 36 or 48 millimeter length valve, and if you've got some really deep rims, this is the way to go. The way not to go are these ones that just have you just stick your pump on, then this threads directly over this piece. So I see these used all the time, a lot of tubular setups, and what can happen, you know, on these you have to rely on the valve being unscrewed, or this part of the valve, the tip, to let air in. Let's just simulate this as if it was a normal tube. Well, actually, we'll just use this one. Okay, so we got our tube threaded out there. We'll stick our extender over, then you air it up from there, and then you're basically relying totally on the air pressure to plug that closed. And what can happen, you know, just you're riding along, this thing's vibrating, that thing can gradually close itself to the point of it's closed. That's on there, you're trying to let air into it, you know, but the rim comes up to here, you don't have access to any of that down there, so it just becomes a major pain in the booty. So always use this type where you can thread the tip into the tube there. Sometimes I'll put these in my seat bag just for you know, somebody needs to borrow a tube and they've got a deep rim. You can use basically any tube and air it up in a pinch, but long term use this type, not this type. Okay, so let's just say you bought a new bike and it's got the Presta valve and you don't know what you're going to do, how to air that up or anything else. You've got a pump at home or an air compressor that works fine for your car, but not this thing. Another little thing you can do is use what they call in the bike industry, they refer to this as a Presta Valve adapter. So basically it's going to adapt this to a standard Schrader valve, which is what you would have on your car or whatnot. So to use this, you basically have a threaded end, which is like your typical Schrader valve. And then on this end, you've got, it's internally threaded there that matches up with the threads here. You've got a little rubber O-ring. So to use one of these, you'll basically just unscrew that tip all the way. Make sure you break your seal, and then you'll thread that O-ring side down all the way down. You want to make sure this is threaded out as far as you can do it. It'll go so far and then it will stop. Okay, so you don't want to leave that loose, or when you're threading your Presta valve on, it'll actually start to wind that closed and you won't be able to get air into it. So thread that down till it stops, and then just stick you can put your air chuck on there or your pump or whatever and air it up like a normal Schrader tube there. Another tip, if you have one of these little rings, lock rings on your valve there, make sure that thing's cinched down all the way or it will make noise and vibrate. Alright, so this is the valve on my commuter bike, and one little tip I like to do is remove the valve core there, and then I'll actually put some tubeless sealant inside the tube. That actually works really well. I ride through a lot of gravel trails and things like that on the way to work, so it's definitely cut down on the amount of punctures and things
But yeah, with that removable valve core, it's super easy to just put, once you pull that out, you have access to squeeze some sealant there right into the tube. But I like the stands or the orange seal or the Bontrager sealant, all works really well.
Okay, so one other tip you can do if you've got a flat tire, you're replacing it, you're on the side of the road, you can actually, maybe you don't have you got your CO2 dispenser, you don't have an extra little mini pump, you can actually just physically blow into this like you're blowing up a balloon or something. Just enough to give it some shape, and now you're ready to install your tube there. So hopefully you found the video helpful if you're new to this Presta style valve here, new to working with that. Anyway, that's going to conclude this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.